Our new polling from DecisionDesk HQ that finds President Biden's job approval rating at 46%, 54% disapprove of the president's performance. This as 65% of the country say the country is on the wrong track. Only 25% say we are on the wrong track. Scott, better numbers than the president has had in the past on approval, but 65% of Americans saying it's on the wrong track. 65% of Americans don't agree that puppies are cute.
True. That's the counterintuitive point with all of this. Everything about the president's approval rating has been pretty consistent over the last 12 months. It's been hovering in the mid-40s, high 40s, and a lot of naysayers will say, hey, this isn't good for re-election. But then I would point out to where Donald Trump was in 2020, when it was a much closer election than it was, and certainly where the Democrats were and Hillary Clinton was in 2016 on the approval rating. So just because you're below 50 doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. But coupled with the right track, wrong track, 65% is a huge number to overcome.
Yeah, Scott, how do Democrats continue to say Bidenomics is working when clearly the rest of America just doesn't feel that?
Well, they may not be feeling it, but Bidenomics is working. We just had GDP rise by 2.4%, historical low unemployment. The stock market for 15 or 14 straight days is on an upswing, and that's never happened in 100 years.
That's on Wall Street, though. Come on. Main Street doesn't feel that.
Well, but okay, on Main Street, you got the unemployment rate being a record low, about 3%, 3.5%. It's frustrating for Democrats like me who see these great economic numbers and story to tell, and yet America's not feeling it. Inflation numbers are down. Now, maybe when you buy bread or gas, you're not feeling it, so you still think we're going in the wrong direction.
Well, they're not feeling it because there is record credit card debt in this country, $1 trillion of credit card debt, and inflation might not be increasing at the same rate that it was increasing a year ago, but still the average family of four is $13,700 poorer than they were in January 2021 by spending power. So this is an average family feeling several $1,000s poorer as they go about their day.
Those numbers haven't changed.
Okay, so Brett, how do you explain that 20-point gap, Scott?
Well, it's simple. It was a great stat on they feel $13,000 poorer than they were a couple of years ago. That directly into 54% of Americans think that inflation is the #1 issue, combined with the wrong track, combined with the other poll question in the NewsNation poll about whether or not they think they're financially better off. The vast majority do not, or at least a plurality do not.
But why do they blame Biden for that versus their own spending habits or their own choices in their life?
So there's going to be a lot of minted PhDs trying to figure that out. All I know is it's correlated. I think a lot of it comes down to is leaders, whether it's President Biden or President Trump, like to claim victory when they can have victory, and then all of a sudden, when there's a failure, they get tagged with a failure just because they've told the voters what they wanted.
Well, he's also the easiest person to blame here. He's the president.
You're the president of the United States.
Exactly.
If you want the credit, you're going to get the...
He automatically...
Hey, Sean, I want to bring you in on this real quick. These were very similar numbers to the 2022 campaign, and Republicans really couldn't convert the numbers, even worse numbers for President Biden, into real victories in 2022. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a change in strategy for 2024.
Well, look, 2022 is a midterm. It's a very different race. I mean, I did my first race 30 years ago this cycle. And look, I will tell you this. Races come down to two basic things. How you feel about the economy and how you feel about security, safety and security. Those are gut. They are visceral reactions. No statistic can make you feel safer or can make you feel better. I know Scott was saying, well, here's GDP. At the end of the day, if you don't feel that the economy is working for you, if you're not saving more, if you're not able to afford things, maybe take your family out to dinner, save for a vacation, feel secure in your job, then it doesn't matter what statistics are there. Similarly with crime, whether that's, you look back to 2004, a foreign threat or a domestic threat. Maybe you don't feel safe walking down the street. Someone can tell you, well, murder's down, crime's down, homicide's down. At the end of the day, if you don't feel safe, no amount of assuaging somebody by statistics is going to matter. And this is the problem. And May touched on this with credit card debt, rising interest rates. We saw it again tomorrow. I mean, when you go into a grocery store, those staples, milk, eggs, bread, hamburgers, hot dogs, those are things. I mean, you know, my wife came back the other day and made a comment about, I forgot what something that the kids wanted, waffles or something, and said, you're not going to believe what they're getting for a pack. I mean, those are things that are affecting people on their daily life. So yes, the amount may go down, by 1% in terms of some government statistics, but people are seeing it every day at the grocery store, and they're not feeling that sense of security inside their gut, that visceral feeling. And so let's just put a pin in this.
We're going to get to the crime numbers. No, we'll get to the crime numbers. Go ahead.
But I would just say this, that wrong track number, that's the nut. Because your approval rating is not good, but I've seen enough people these days get elected being underwater below 50%. But when the wrong track is there and you're in the incumbent and you're at 65%, at the end of the day, if you're the incumbent and you're saying, I can keep going in the direction I am, or there's somebody new, they're going to give the new person a chance.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.